Well, I only gave Kaito one arrow, so...
Are you positive?
Of course! There's no way I got that wrong!
Well then, that's strange, because... there were 3 arrows in the bathroom, remember?
3? I know I only gave him 1! Kaito even told me to only bring him 1. He said he wanted to avoid fighting.
Maybe Kokichi had some hidden away?
Why would Kokichi have 2 arrows when he didn't have a crossbow to fire them?
But we know for certain that 3 arrows were recovered from the scene. And all 3 arrows had blood on them.
And altogether, their clothes had 3 perforations in them. So we know for certain that they shot 3 arrows at each other.
Could it be that the additional arrows were brought in by a third party?
A third party? So someone besides Kokichi or Himiko?
That's just a guess, though. There's no way a third party exists.
If a third party did exist, why would they bring 2 arrows?
Kaido was the only one with a crossbow. I made sure I handed it to him.
Kaito said he only needed 1 arrow. Clearly, he didn't want to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
So the other 2 arrows weren't for Kaito. They were for the third party to use themselves.
So the third party didn't hand the arrows through the window. Instead, they went into the hangar and shot the crossbow themselves?
Impossible. There was an alarm system and an electric barrier around the hangar.
Yeah. That hangar should have been completely closed off, right?
I see now. That's it. The exisal. The exisal could be used to enter the hangar. We couldn't get in because of the alarm system and the electric barrier. But that shouldn't have been a problem for any of the exisals, right? So if you wanted to enter the hangar, all you had to do was pilot an exisal.
I saw an exisal enter the hangar last night. So was this third party piloting it?
By the way, I just want to confirm something with Monokuma. Would the alarm still go off if there was a person inside an exisal?
Well, I wasn't trying to keep this secret, but since it's about the details of the hangar, I guess I can tell you guys. It makes sense that the alarm system and electric barrier wouldn't react to an exisal. After all, the hangar is where the exisals are supposed to be stored. It'd be a hassle to disable the security every time an exisal comes and goes, you know? So even if someone is inside an exisal, the security system wouldn't catch them. Because it'd be a hassle to leave the exisal every time you have to put it away.
So it's like Shuichi said? A third party got in an exisal and entered the hangar? But
Can just anyone pilot an exisal?
Well, Kokichi,
It's surprisingly easy. If you use both hands, both feet, and both nipples, you can do it.
Nipples too?
Anyway, this third party commandeered an exisal and infiltrated the hangar. That same person must have brought the other 2 arrows with them.
I told you that's impossible. There's no way you can get through security if you pilot an exisal. It's not possible.
What? Not possible.
if someone was piloting the exisal, they could have used it to enter the hangar.
That's not possible.
Is operating the exisal really that difficult?
Do we even know how to get inside an exisal? Outside the hangar, there were 4 exisals. And they were all moving too.
I was controlling them remotely.
Electro hammers weren't an option. Yesterday, all the hammers were still recharging.
There's no way to stop an exisal. So getting inside one would have been impossible.
You're right, it's impossible.
If one was piloting to enter the hangar,
That's not possible. Do we even know how to get inside an exisal? Outside the hangar, there were 4 exisals. And they were all moving too.
I was controlling them remotely.
electro hammers weren't an option. Yesterday, all
All the hammers were still
recharging.
That's wrong! Wait, not all of the electro hammers were being charged. I know because I found one. There was a used electro hammer near Monokuma and the exisals.
Is that electro hammer used by the third party? Maybe they used it to disable an exisal.
Yes, I think so. When I saw them last afternoon, there were 4 exisals. But this morning, there were only 3.
I noticed that too. Was the missing exisal taken by this third party?
Shuichi is getting warmer. How about you say the answer right now? Who did it? Who is this third party?
It's you! Maki, you're the third party we're looking for, aren't you?
What? It's Maki?
What are you saying?
Remember what Kokichi said. The electro hammer needs to be recharged for 24 hours after it runs out of battery. That hammer was used last afternoon, so it couldn't have been used this morning.
Oh, right. When we were all gathered in the dining hall this morning, Maki was the only one without an electro hammer, wasn't she?
Knowing that, the electro hammer I found could only have... And that leads me to the conclusion that Maki must be the third party. She also knows how to assemble the crossbow and could have returned it to her lab later.
You brought a different crossbow than the one Kaito had, right?
Maki took 2 arrows and her own crossbow from her lab, disabled the exosaw with an electro hammer, and Now we just have to figure out what happened after...
I'll kill your logic. Why are you doing this? Why are you getting in my way?
Getting in your way? Maki, what are you...
Yes, I'm the third party.
Huh?
I admit to going into the hangar with an exosol, and then shooting the crossbow. I didn't kill anyone. I'm not the culprit! You're right. I used the electro hammer, and I used the exosol to enter the hangar too. I also shot the crossbow there. However, I am not the culprit. Because the crossbow is not the murder weapon. You're right. I used the electro hammer, and I used the exosol to enter the hangar too.
I was wrong!
You're right. I used the electro hammer, and I used the exosol to enter the hangar too. I also shot the crossbow there. However, I am not the culprit. Because the crossbow is not the murder weapon.
The crossbow is not the murder weapon? What do you mean?
The arrows left holes in their clothes. Think about the locations of the wounds. They were on his arm and back. An arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury. That's why the crossbow can't be the murder weapon. Therefore, I'm not the culprit. The arrows left holes in their clothes. Think about the locations of the wounds. They were on his arm and back. An arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury.
I'll cut through your words! It wouldn't matter where the arrow hit if it were poisoned.
Poison?